Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Sean Higgs coming at you here. It's Monday, January 13th. As always, Doug Upstone in the house. We're waiting on a Chip Chirimbes sighting. Who knows? He could be out gallivanting around the Vegas hills. I don't know what he's up to right now. Well,
maybe he was a volunteer fire person.
He could be. He could be out help fighting. He could be helping people relocate. I don't know.
Putting out the fires. Yeah, okay. I can go with that.
He's a man among the town, our guy. If he shows up, great. Sometimes it happens. Life happens. We're all people. We got other things to do sometimes. Spur of the moment happens. It's life. Speaking of life, hitting the like button. It's the oxygen of our world here, right? So hit the like button, or else we might not be back tomorrow. All right, that's how bad it is here. We need our like buttons. Like, subscribe, notification bells on here on the Winners Circle YouTube channel, and also over 14,000. So next on the agenda, 15,000. So we got a slow and steady climb. We're moving on up. Again, notification bells on. You want to know when we do our free pick videos all the time here, plus our live show. I'll be doing a live tonight. I'll jump on. I said to Jim yesterday, I was like, I'll pop on with some player props tonight for this Rams-Viking game. So there you go. Monday night, I'll be here, 7 o'clock Eastern. Football Friday Live, as always, on Friday with Mark Lawrence and Victor King. Now, these are free pick videos. Last Monday, not too bad, Doug. A 3-0 day for us last week on Monday. 17-6 with our NBA. These are free picks. Free picks. You want our premium? GamblersWorld.net. Doug Upstone, myself, the missing Chip Chirimbes, Brian Biller, Matt Fargo, everybody is on GamblersWorld.net. Go over there for our premium action. Doug's on a nice 7-0 NBA run, 27-15 run in college hoops, 54-21 Mr. Ice. Get all of his premium content today. 3-7 30-day packages are guaranteed. We show you a profit or we credit you back. Day pass, NBA, NHL, college basketball, football. Maybe somebody's got all four going tonight. You get a day pass for $69.99. It's all included in a nice little bundle package for you. They want to bundle your internet and phone and that nonsense. So we bundle all of our sports up in a daily pass. There it is, right on top, $69.99. For me, myself, I'm got NBA, college hoops, NFL. Get the day pass. I'm pretty good. 13-1 college hoops run. Number one for the last week or two. It's been a nice run for me. But go to GamblersWorld.net. We got a leaderboard. Win or lose, always the truth is right there. Doug Upstone, my guy, you're just as hot. Having a nice run yourself. What do you say? How's your weekend?
I looked at the leaderboard this morning. So yeah, first and third. Okay, it's not too bad guys to have on the show today. You're at the top of the heap there for the last 30 days. So good there. But yes, it's been for me a good run as well. The only thing that didn't work out pretty much for the weekend was I did hit my wild card game of the year with Buffalo, but the rest of it not so hot. Okay, just one of those weekends. And sometimes when you reflect back, you say kind of like, what was I thinking type stuff. And I guess I kind of feel that way. Other than, we could talk about quarterback play, but you mentioned all the other sports going well. In fact, last Monday, for those that were tuned in last Monday, I did say that January is usually a turning point for me in the NBA. And that's been the case. Mentioned I've won 7 in a row, 10 out of 13. So just been on a nice run in the NBA. College basketball continues to do well. Didn't do as well as I expected on Saturday, but had some interesting setbacks on those. So, what can you say? What can you do? So we just move ahead from there. And then NHL continues to do well. And it looks like right now it's just me. So we'll have to see what happens there. But if that's the case, as soon as Sean comes back, we will talk some different NBA. The game that I was scheduled to cover is the Lakers and San Antonio Spurs. So that's what I'm going to talk about. Is the Lakers have been off since last Tuesday, missing 2 home games because of the dreadful fires in the city of Los Angeles. Their game against San Antonio that they're playing tonight was scheduled for Saturday. So the presumption is that game is going to go off tonight. The Lakers in their last 2 games did suffer a couple of defeats. They went to the Lone Star State where Sean lives, and they lost those games. But with that, though, right before then, they had won 7 out of 9 straight up and against the spread. So I think the one thing that's to their benefit here in this is that LeBron James and Anthony Davis got some extra rest. I think that helps them more than it hurts them being off. So I think that's a good thing. When they went to the Lone Star State, they did not face San Antonio, and they're going to face the Spurs tonight. They're on an 0-3 straight up and against the spread downturn. The Spurs are, after playing pretty well. And what's happened in this stretch is that just their offense has gotten off kilter. They shot under 40% on 2 different occasions. And in the other game that they lost, they had 17 turnovers. Now, I admit, I'm no big fan of this particular purple and gold team, but they are 14-7 when playing with 4 or less games in 10 days. And the Spurs, as underdogs of 3.5 to 9 points, they 16-33. Okay, so let's go with the Los Angeles Lakers minus the 3.5 over the San Antonio Spurs. Okay,
and just like that, I am back, Doug. Sometimes the power just like it's like a click off for whatever reason. I don't know. Again, a lot of construction, new stuff. It happens. But I was backstage listening to the tail end there. Lakers, I am with you on Hollywood here. I think it's a good spot for them. Again, I missed kind of the beginning part, but I'll be talking about the Heat and Clippers, and I think this is kind of like a rally around the city type mode for them. And plus the Spurs, they're not a good team. They're a one-man band team here with Wemby. And this is a spot where I think LeBron's going to want to come show out for the city and the whole pomp and circumstance, as weird as that sounds. But really, this is a spot for him, I think, and the Lakers to get it done. So I agree with you on the Lakers, minus 3.5 here. Doug Upstone, free pick for the show. Again, 17-6 with the free picks. The premiums where Doug is on a nice 7-0 run. Not too shabby there. Can't go wrong when you're 7-0. I think that's definitely put some money in your pocket there. Now, Doug, Chip has not joined us. He was going to look at Memphis and Houston today. And I kind of glanced over this one because I sort of liked Houston. Memphis, bunch of injuries, guys coming back, ho-hum lately, 5-5 ATS, straight up. I like Houston here. I was going to say, let's take them on the money line minus 120. The line is now up to 3.5 from a 2. So I feel good about my initial thought, although I didn't get down on it because it was just like, all right, not some NBA, but I kind of like the Rockets here. Not kind of, I do. It's moved though, so I guess I got to like it more. I was on the right side. It's going that direction. Rockets to play for you here?
Yeah, well, initially when I looked at this game, I knew they played the other day and that Memphis lost at home, 119-115 as a 1-point favorite. So I thought, okay, well, the revenge angle here, especially on short turnarounds, usually is pretty good on this one. But then, when I first saw it, Rockets were -2. And then I went and looked at the games between the teams. Well, in their last 6 games, Houston's 5-1-1. 5-1 straight up and against the spread. So that kind of renders the revenge angle meaningless because Memphis has lost several times to them. There's, and the other thing too about Memphis, and this is just a general comment, this team annually now suffers a number of injuries. And so the only takeaway is that they have a number of guys that seemingly are going to be injury prone, even though most of them are, in their mid-20s or so. So that's not great. Then the other thing that I kind of like and don't like about them is that, the last couple of years, Sean, how did they generate their offense? Off of turnovers, playing fast, getting up and down the court fast. And I read a really interesting article last week about how their coach changed the dynamic of their offense because he wanted to have more half court. And so by design, the Memphis now is one of the top half court teams in the NBA based on some of the different things that they're accomplishing. But in my mind, they kind of give part of that away because they're number 2 in turnovers and they're number 2 in fouls committed on the season. So those are not positive signs here. I'm looking at the Rockets. They are 15-2 straight up at home when playing only their second game in 5 days. And the important part of what I just said is that they're winning those 17 games by an average of 7.9 points per game. So, Sean, yes, like you, I like Houston.
All right. So, I'm going to throw this out as an official play for us anyway. We're going to put it in the chat. It'll be a play. We like Houston minus 3.5. Why not? We'll give out the free pickers.
Why not?
3-0 last week. We're going to do it again. Again, before I get to the Heat and the Clippers game, we're going to do here. Like, subscribe, notification bells on, so you know each and every day we come in here. It helps the channel grow. Support it. Hit the like button. All you can do is hit the button. Simple enough. Premium picks, again, at gamblersworld.net, our sponsor site. Doug's got a big NBA game up tonight. I got you covered here in the NFL. Head on over to gamblersworld.net. Get a pass weekly. Again, it's guaranteed. Show your profit or we credit you back. I don't know. Use the leaderboard. Again, win or lose, the records are right there for you, folks. Now, the Clippers and the Heat tonight. Clippers a 6-point favorite in this one, Doug. Total 215.5. I see this and I'm like, sign me up for Miami. You win 3 in a row. You got out of Miami. The whole Butler nonsense. I don't know where he's going to end up. Definitely not going to play for Miami anymore. I don't know who's going to trade for, how it's going to work out, but I think it's safe to say his time is done. I see this 6 and want to just take the Heat. Like, why? I don't think the Clippers are a good team at all. Kawhi is back. Is he back? I don't know. This team, it's a hot mess to me. But I see 6 points, and I'm like, this does not seem right. On principle, I have to take the Clippers tonight, just based on a 6. And again, I don't want to throw it into the same category as Lakers, but it is. It's like, this just seems like everything's going on there. We need happiness and whatever healing. It's just one of those, and the number just screams, I have to take the Clippers. Like, why are they a 6-point favorite here? Miami's actually playing a little better now. How are we laying 6? I can't, it makes no sense to me, but as we've said on here before, what else you say? Think like a bookmaker in these things. Like they're not putting it up there because they like giving money away. Here you go. Sure, take it. We want to give you free money. Yeah, anytime I see that, I'm going to run the other way. I'm going to lay the points in this one and say take the Clippers. What do you think? Am I wrong to think of it that way?
I thought exactly the same thing. Say Miami's, like I said, went on the road. And I mean, that's the other thing. They're not playing on the road. All 3 of those wins have come on the road. So
yes.
That's the impressive part. Clippers have lost 4 out of 5. They're not playing well. I actually like the Clippers more than you do overall. And I mentioned this last week when we were talking about them. I just like the fact that they come and play hard pretty much all the time. They're not necessarily all that talented. They don't shoot all that well. But here's something that supports what you and I are both thinking here. Underdogs off a road win by 10 or more points, playing against a team that lost, has a road loss of 10 or more in their last game. They're just 9-33 since 2021 against the spread, losing by an average of 8.1 points per game. So yeah, that supports the idea of backing the Clippers. And Sean, you know me, I'm always prepared. And so I come with a prop, to throw out also on this one. So Bam Adebayo for points and assists, 20.5, for him. In his last 9 games, he's gone under that total, of 20.5 for points and assists. And he's going up against the Clippers, who are number 4 in pick and roll defense. And why does that matter? Because that's probably how Bam Adebayo probably scores 60 to 70% of his points is off pick and roll plays, whether getting the feeds, off of them, various dunks or whatever, or short jump shots. So I'm going to say under Bam Adebayo for 20.5 on points and assists.
A added bonus play, player prop action. Let's call Bam Adebayo. I can't pronounce his name. Let's call him Bam Adebayo for the Heat. Under 20.5 points and assists in this matchup. And I had to go back. I was flipping my little book because I'm like, this seems familiar. We're talking about these 2 teams. Last week on a Monday, you had Heat and Sacramento, and you're like, let's take Sacramento here, right? You had them. Winner, good spot, right? Miami got out of Miami, but they had stuff going on, and the Kings got the job done. I had the Clippers Minnesota game. Never in doubt, covering 2.5. Easy peasy losing by 2. We are on point with this. As Doug said, the Clippers have dropped 3 or 4, all of them on the road, though. So, I mean, no shame losing there. You lose on the road, it is what it is, the NBA. But again, it's 6 at home versus a team of 4 in a row. And you thought maybe for the Heat real fast, Doug. I'm going to get out of here. They beat Golden State the next game was in Utah on a back-to-back, or maybe they had a day off. But that's a spot where you're going to have a bad one, right? Utah's a bad team. They edged them now, got past there, and then went in and just absolutely rolled up on Portland by 20. So a good spot here. You think, oh, they're playing good. You're getting 6. What are you talking about? Yeah. Clippers, don't be fooled. If it looks too good to be true, it usually is. It usually is. Don't fall for that low-hanging fruit. Remember? Had to work out for Eve. We're all screwed. Don't do it. All right? Oh, it's nice. Take the 6. No. Clippers, minus the 6. Lakers, minus 3.5. And the Rockets, minus 3.5. That's a trifecta for us. We both agree on all of them.
All favorites. What could go wrong?
On all of them. Again, but you know what? Sometimes we do that.
Oh, I know. I'm just kidding.
But it's funny because most times we're like on dog spots, right? It's like, oh, we're taking dogs. It's weird we got all 3 faves. We agree on all of them, which is probably a good thing. At worst, we're going to go 2-1. I mean, we're not taking a donut. That's not happening. We're seeing the board very well.
Well,
then you get an added player prop.
And the other thing too, you could also, if it doesn't work out, and if the pick that Chip should have had is wrong, that just supports our case all the more. That we would go 2-0, and Chip was the one that lost, and just because he's not here, would be the fact that you know what. So
we won't even talk about that game if that's the one that goes down.
Right. Just So just ignore some of the other stuff. Just kind of go along with it. So I just wanted to get your thoughts real quick here. Any thoughts what you saw in the NFL?
Let's start. What did we get on first? We had the Texans in a win. I had the Texans. Not shocked. I mean, the Chargers are a one-man band throwing the ball to Ladd McConkey. Are we really shocked the guy threw a bunch of interceptions? And then I mean, tip balls. They're not a good team. Who did they beat? So I'm not shocked that the Texans win. The Ravens winning. Are we shocked there? I mean, Pittsburgh's been downhill since the second half of the season. The Ravens look very good. If they're going to be able to run the ball, watch out. Just watch out. Who's the other game? Bills were early. I mean, Denver thought we're going to have a game, and I had the over. Loser there. I thought for sure we were going to get some kind of 50-something scoring game there. We got it early from Denver, and then a no-show. Rookie quarterback did his thing. Not shocked there. Your next game was – who was that middle game there?
Eagles, no problem with dismantling the Packers.
The Packers were the Chargers of the NFC. They lost all the good teams they played. The Eagles looked a little lethargic. That's what happens when your starting quarterback misses 3 weeks. He's going to start slow. So you can't be shocked by that output there. I mean, they won the game, and that's what they had to do. I think they'll be better next week. And then you had the Washington Commanders. I had Tampa Bay. I did not think Washington was going to win. I'm again, rookie QB on the road. I'm not looking to do that. Although I guess the equalizer was I got Dan Quinn, who's a pretty decent head coach, versus Todd Bowles, who kind of makes some mistakes sometimes and kind of reared its head there. I don't understand. Tampa out of the gate, they were moving the ball well. Then they didn't move the ball in the first half until the last 2 minutes. So they played the first 2 minutes of the first half and the last 2 minutes of the first half. They didn't put up 10 points. They forgot there was another 28 minutes in between or 26 minutes in between. And then the doink. I mean, it could have went either way. I'm not shocked by the results. I mean, the Tampa game could have went either way. It did. Everything else I thought played right into where it should have been.
Yeah, I was on the Chargers, and I actually thought of you as that game went along because you said, who did they beat? They're this and that. But what struck me more than anything was the quarterback play over the weekend. Well, actually, 2 things struck me, but quarterback play was certainly one of them. And that Houston Chargers game, I don't recall seeing a playoff games where like 2 quarterbacks were well into the game before either one of them settled down, and Herbert never settled down. I mean, I still can't believe, as experienced as he is, they're up 6-0 in the second quarter. He rolls out to the right, getting rushed, throws the ball 40, 50 yards in the air to a receiver who has 2 defensive guys right on him, throws the ball up, jump ball, interception right there. And that led on to, his day with 4 after having 3 all season. So that's always kind of interesting when that happens. But it just, I just was surprised at how poorly the quarterback play was that we saw generally all weekend long. And then the other thing that struck me is, and this isn't really news, but boy, you know what? If you can run the ball and stop the run, I mean, it's a cliche of the playoffs, but boy, it sure was true this weekend. I mean, we just saw it time and time again.
The quarterback plays been like this all year. So you got two rookies, Baker, who's hit or miss, Russell Wilson at the tail end of a career, Herbert, who gets a lot of accolades for doing nothing, and then you got two Hall of Fame guys in Lamar and Allen. And people might not think Lamar is good. I don't know. I think his record speaks for themselves. I mean, the guy wins all the time. I mean, Heisman, MVP, NFC, AFC North. I mean, where's the good quarterback play? Stroud. I mean, he's a second-year kind of guy. You're going to get that. Hurts come back from injury. And Love's another guy who's like Stroud. They're kind of still getting their feet wet in the league. I mean, 2 years. 2 years. This is the NFL, folks. This ain't like you're doing some kind of job. This is a never-ending cycle of learning different things. So 2 years this isn't like dog years. You know, that's not how that is here. It is what it is with the NFL. The quarterback play we talked about all year. Look at the quarterback stuff. Who's good?
I mean, you look at, for example, now Mayfield had a really good year. Okay,
yes,
and I don't think he played particularly well yesterday for a variety of reasons. But you got him and Sam Darnold. I mean, look at how much football they have played in order to get where they are to have the success that they have had. Okay,
yes,
I mean, football needs to go back to the old school of thinking. And I know they're paying these guys a lot of money, so they hate to have them, it's like having dead money on your, like a salary cap problem, by having guys sit on the bench. But boy, does it, when you see what these guys can do. And, one other point too, is that, we're talking about quarterback play. I was talking to somebody about this last night, and not to say this is going to happen because there's not enough teams smart enough to do this, but anymore, is it better to, instead of get a quarterback and then build your team around him, is it better to build your team and then get a quarterback?
Yeah. I say it all the time. You're drafting a quarterback in the top 5 to a team that has 3. Hey, we're going to go to the Giants. We're going to get a quarterback. Who the hell's protecting them? The offensive line is crap. You have one wide receiver. The defense is bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying as a whole. You're drafting in the top 5 and have 2, 3, or 4 wins because you have a litany of problems. Let's put a rookie quarterback in who had one good year in college. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? That's great. Now he's got to learn a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator, and then I don't have a left tackle. I got no running. Right. Yeah. How good is that guy going to be? Yeah. No.
And then more often than not, what happens? Okay, the coach is gone in 2 years. A whole new system comes in.
Yep.
Okay, guy's got to relearn, or not relearn. He has to learn a new system. The continual change. I mean, it's not by accident that a lot of successful quarterbacks are, put together with successful head coaches, okay, who have a plan and can execute it.
Very rarely you're Sam Darnold and get dropped into a Super Bowl team or an NFC Championship team like the Niners or whoever. Like, who's drafting that high and getting a quarterback who, again, Purdy might not be all that great, but you're on a team with legitimate all-pro players at skill position, a Super Bowl head coach. You're in a better spot than, hey, I'm Zach Wilson going to the Jets. I'm going to fire the coach. I'm going to bring in a new coordinator who's going to change me up. So I'm on my 3rd coordinator in 3 years, and then I'll go to the bench behind. My quarterback gets hurt, and then you put me in versus for the other guys. How are you going to learn? Of course you're going to look like trash. I mean, these guys don't stand a chance. Sam Howell didn't stand a chance in Washington. Oh, we're going to play Cam Newton or whoever they got instead. Tyler Heineke. This guy was supposed to be a number 1 draft pick at North Carolina. He had a tough year. He slips. We don't play him until the tail end, and we just let him go out there and chuck it. He's gone. He's probably a career backup now in Seattle. Maybe he gets a shot and maybe pick something up from a guy like Geno, who's paid his due. He's coming. I mean, like you said, why do I want to draft a quarterback 1, 2, 3, 4 on a team that's bad? Like the Giants need a lot more than just a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be. It seems. Well, for the sake of the sport, I hope they start to think that way, because I have to say I don't think the product was very good this year, and I'm not sure that it's exactly relatable. But for the first time in memory, the viewership was down on the NFL. Now it's been super high and it's still really good. I'm not saying that, but it was down. It was down basically right around 2% across the board. So I mean, that kind of tells you a little something, right?
They want to put these games on all the time, and you're going to get eyes. I get it. You got 17 games, whatever the hell they play nowadays. But you can't put crappy product out. You can't put terrible games on Thursday night. I mean, it's marquee. Who could thought the Jets were going to be this terrible with Aaron Rodgers? And nobody really thought they would be that bad. That's why they were projected to have, they were favored in 14 of their 17 games. No one thought they were going to be trash. So I understand that kind of stuff, but they have to be able to flex out sooner than later on some of these games.
Yeah, that's tough, because you don't know, what exactly is going to happen. But or like I said, the other thing that they I saw this a couple different places. Hey, there wasn't very many good games other than the last one this weekend. And hey, why does the NFL, why are they so hung up on wins and losses? Why not have the Bengals in there? Okay, so what if the Bengals didn't win enough games? Hey, they had the better team. Hey, if college football can make it happen, why can't the NFL? Come on.
Listen, I saw people say like the Bengals should be in. Who cares? They got to get rid of. I mean, that's like the moronic takes of people who just found like sports betting in the last 3 years, which I cannot stand. Like, really, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Like, how can you sit here and say that? Like, are you just clickbaiting? No, they're not, because that's what they think, because they're morons. No, wins and losses matter. This is like the geek squad takes over baseball. Like, oh, look at this guy's spin rate. He should be the WAR. Dude, I mentioned this guy before on here. He's warmonger on Twitter, and it's WAR like for wins above replacement. Not that he's some kind of guy out here pillaging like he's a mad Viking in the 14th century or something. But they put up the numbers of players because we're like, oh, well, look at a WAR on this guy. And like Kevin Elster had like 40 games played one year, but his WAR was better than Ryan Howard's MVP season. Like, oh, technically, this guy's better than the MVP. Like, who in the right mind's not taking Ryan Howard when he hits 41 homers and hits 280? But, his WAR. Like, stop it, Dad. No, Cincy shouldn't be in it because their defense is crazy. Why? So you want to let Cincy play a game against Buffalo and lose 45-37? That's fun? That's a fun game? Better than Buffalo just methodically beating a team to death with a rubber hose? I mean, no. Win a game. Wins matters. Cy Young. Wins don't matter in baseball. What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, they do matter. They do. You need wins to get to a playoff and to get to a championship and a World Series or a Super Bowl, an NBA title. The wins matter. Don't tell me they don't matter.
Yeah, and it kind of means it matters in betting too. Not to
these folks. Yeah. The bad beat refund crew. Come on, Doug.
One of the things. Well, one last thing to talk about baseball is that among the things that when I handicap pitching, starting pitching, I use wins and losses, team wins and losses, not personal. Yes. Team wins and losses. Yes. And because you know what, if this guy's pitching and his team's winning when he pitches, okay, he's doing something right.
Yes.
I mean, it's as simple as that. So, or if a guy has a great ERA, he's got everything is great, his WHIP is great, everything else, but he's 4-11, okay, in August with team record. I just go back to this is very old school, but go back to Yogi Berra-isms. Okay, he pitches good enough to lose. Okay, so that's.
It's really not rocket scientists here, folks. You need wins to get into the playoffs. It's not, the best team. Who's the best team? I mean, I love it. Like, we got to use the power rankings. The power rankings that the SEC got smoked in every bowl game they played, those power ratings, that the SEC lost every bowl, how was the SEC in bowl games this year?
Or Indiana was severely overrated. Didn't even belong because they lost twice on the road to the two teams that are playing for the championship.
Yeah, didn't belong.
It's their fault.
2 road losses to the teams in the title game.
So, all right, enough of that. Good,
All right, let's do a
talking.
recap here. Bam Adebayo, under 20.5 points and assists. That's your bonus player apart from Doug. Our regular picks. We agree on them all. Lakers, Rockets, and the Clippers. A trifecta of favorites here as our free picks. GamblersWorld.net for our premium content. You don't want to miss out on that because we are doing very well so far to start the year and just all season long across the board in NHL and NBA. We got the leaderboard there. Real quick, this day in sports. So this day today on December 13th, I believe it's it's January 13th, 2025. Chip didn't show up and I lost power. So put that in the books for next year. We'll have to talk about it.
All right.
Doug, have a good one. Everybody, thanks for watching. Myself, Matt Fargo, Brian Biller tomorrow with some college basketball if you're interested. Good luck, everybody.